Okay, so kilometre 1557 on this year's trail. This is the Outdoor Pursuit Centre as you head into the Tararuas. So obviously we had that massive day yesterday. There we go, John and his lovely wife. So they got the little portaloo there because they're self-composting toilet, which is in that little shed there. It wasn't keeping up. Lovely little shelter out there. You can get all your fresh water, fill your water bottles, everything you need. People last night camped here. He was out worried about the people down the bottom because of the thunderstorm. Was about to get them to move over near the house if they were getting flooded. And down here, I mean, there's all this grass down here for camping as well. So absolutely gorgeous little spot. And he's a wealth of knowledge to safely help you get through the Tararua Ranges. And absolute gentleman, because he looked at the G team, the geriatric team, and he said, you just come over and use my shower and camp on the lawn outside my house. So absolutely lovely guy. Listen to what he said. I think some people think, no, that's over the top. There'll be no thunderstorm last night. Well, I bet they believed him after the storm came through last night and shows just how fickle this area is with the weather. Anyway, I do have a plan, but we're going to hit the road because my parents are coming to get us. We're going to walk to the northern terminus of the Tararuas, and then we're going to get them to drop us off at what they call Mangaone track and southern end of the Tararuas. So if there's that window of opportunity to get in, that's an 11k road walk from the southern terminus of the Tararuas into Waikanae. We're going to knock that off now. And that's really cool. If we can fit in the Tararuas, that just makes it so much easier not having to do that road walk section. And I'm also going to try and get all the way to Paekakariki today. I have a plan, but I'll talk more about that later. All right, see you soon. Morning. So how does that song go? On the road again. I can't wait to get on the road again. And you can see why I'm not a singer, but yeah, last night was pretty cool. What do you think, Vivian? What about last night?
I enjoyed once we stopped. I didn't enjoy it.
What about the storm? That was
Yeah, the
amazing.
storm.
The
Yeah,
storm was amazing.
The storm was, yeah.
I didn't film
wasn't
it.
my favourite day until that, but that was pretty.
the storm was actually cool. Yeah,
yeah.
my mother messaged, "Oh, are you okay?" I'm like, "Man, that was cool. I'm
It was.
not worried at all."
The storm was amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, right over top. Yeah. Never had a thunderstorm in a tent.
And then the one lightning was straight above us, and then that was
Crack,
really
quick, eh?
loud,
Straight
Yeah,
away.
it was a good one.
It
But
was a good
anyway,
one.
I think we've
Another
got a car
car
coming. We're
coming.
going to have to get it duck off the road here. But no, yesterday was 14 hours, as I said. And poor old John, he's been feeling not right for about a week with a funny stomach. So he did even better than all of us to push on, which is really good. So the plan today, I can't remember if I mentioned it before when I was showing you the Outdoor Pursuit Centre, but we're walking now 4k down to Podes Road and then 1k into the end of Podes Road where the Tararua section starts. And then my parents are going to grab us all and drop us outside what we call Mangaone walkway, which is at the southern terminus of the Tararuas. So that's the plan today. And then from there we walk to Waikanae. And I think Johnny and Viv are going to get as far as Paeparam or Raumati. Tim and I are going to keep pushing to Paekakariki. And there's a bit of a method to my madness. I'm not sure if I can pull it off, but I want to then do Paekakariki, Porirua tomorrow. And after Porirua, go to Wellington. I'm not going to the terminus. I don't want to touch the North Island terminus when I haven't done the Tararuas. It just doesn't seem right. And I will see if I can get myself on the ferry, get over to the South Island, and before Christmas try and knock off the Queen Charlotte Sound. Now this put me in a good position. Then I can spend a bit of time with family over the Christmas break, and if there's a break in the weather and I can get over Tararuas, I'm probably going to leap in and do it northbound, which is a lot safer because the track's really bad, worse than what we hiked yesterday apparently, and you're better to go uphill in that slippery mud than you are to come downhill, and I totally agree with that. So that's kind of the plan at this stage, and obviously if you keep watching you'll see if I can pull that one off. Anyway, phone away, 4k out to Podes Road and then 1k to the end, and yeah, I'll see my parents for the first time in about a year. Look forward to it. See ya. Here we go, everybody. Tim hasn't checked in this morning. He's going to tell us how he is. Pommy Tim.
Body's feeling good, which I'm very happy about. I
Yes.
had a sore foot yesterday after doing too many Ks at too high speed.
Yes.
Right now, all good. Just a couple of bites that are itching, but that's not a problem. But the main issue is that every bit of spare kit I've got is wet. So I've got the band on the back of this sunglasses is wet. My clothes are wet, the ground sheet's wet, so it's not going to be stinking by the end of the day, because it's going to be a hot day, see? Damp things in hot weather stink.
So there we go, our Englishman. He's had an English, what do we...
Baptism by fire?
Well, what did you used to call pommies before you left New Zealand? Didn't start with W, did it? Whinging.
Palms,
You've been there too long, Tim.
You set me up.
I set you up big time. Oh, wave to your mum. Is she watching? There you go. Hi, mum. We're looking after him. We're setting him up.
Good how we're all smiling today.
It's brilliant. It's brilliant.
Even though we can't do the Tararua due to weather event, we're still positive.
Yeah, that's the way. All right, we'll see you soon. So from the Outdoor Pursuit Centre, it's not very far actually, when we're back onto an asphalt road. And Vivian didn't wash her pants. And we're about to hang a left here and just do a little track walk as well before we get to the Poge Road. So anyway, still a nice country walk. Looking up here, those Tararuas actually look not too bad. If I zoom in, we go up in this range that's up in the cloud in the background. And believe it or not, today and tomorrow, there's actually forecast snow in there. That's why we're not going in. Also, talking to John at the Outdoor Pursuit Centre, so he knows all about those Tararuas. The forecast also had 100km/h winds. So you can barely stand up in that. That's tough work. And he's told me that this year, that weather window for the Tararuas has been so bad for the TA hikers that less than 50% are getting through the Tararuas this year. And most people, I've got the luxury of the plan I've got and family that live close. So I've still got a couple more cracks at it to try and get through. But I feel sorry for all those international hikers coming through, and they just don't have time to hang around waiting. Could take them a couple of weeks to try and get through on a decent weather window. So sadly, it's a bit shame to do the TA and not be able to do the Tararuas, because everybody talks about the Tararuas and the Richmonds, and they're such a significant part. So that's why I'm putting in all this effort. I really want to try and get through those if I can. I don't want to skip them. Well, that sign I just took a photo of is at Poge Road. So we're just wandering up here because, yeah, this is where you sort of wander into the start of the Tararua. So, as I explained, we're just going up this road as far as it is till it ends in the car park, and yeah, then we're going to go to the southern terminus. See you soon. So here we are, introduced Tim and Johnny and Viv to me parents. That's my mum in that little car, and Timmy and I in here with Dad. So up to Mangaone now, which is the southern terminus, and this is obviously the northern terminus. So we've just been dropped off at the southern terminus of the Tararuas. We're about to grab our bags and that. And this is actually a little bit of nostalgia. This is actually the spot I was standing, because there's a little walk here called the Mangaone walkway, which is absolutely beautiful. And this is where I was when two hikers came out one Christmas. I'd just done the Mangaone with my mum and dad, got talking to those two girls, and on the way home my parents said, yeah, there's a walk you can do the length to New Zealand. And I went straight home and looked it up and heard about the Tararua for the very first time, and that's where it all started really. That would have been probably about 4 years ago. So 4 years to make the dream happen. Anyway, we'll get going because it's a bit of a road walk. So this is the road out of the southern terminus. There's actually asphalt the whole way. This first section's not going to be too bad because it's not a very busy road. But then, yeah, there's a bit of a nasty section before we get to footpath and that, getting into Waikanae. Total distance to get to Waikanae is 11 kilometre. Bit of a blind corner here on this road. Not the nicest to walk down. Anyway, hopefully not far when we get to the footpath. Alright, so this is the heart of Waikanae. Main street's just down there through the traffic lights. We go over the train line. So we've pretty much done the southern terminus to Waikanae section now, which was 11k. And we start on the next sort of leg, which is normally done in a day, which is Waikanae to Paekakariki. I'll show you as we go, but we're probably going to have a little break here. See ya. Alright, so this is the start of the Waikanae River section. That's the State Highway 1, or the former State Highway 1 bridge. Most of the traffic now goes down what they call Transmission Gully, and there's new bridges which we're going to walk under as we come down this river. But man, there must have been a bit of rain, because this Waikanae River, that's got heaps of water in it. Far out. Oh, that's normally a little stream that kids swim and play in down there, with parents on the sideline on the riverbank, not even worried about them hurting themselves. Alright, so we're probably halfway down the Waikanae River. This little bridge just goes over a tributary. That's our rancho. That's like a religious area where, you know, they have kids camps and stuff. We only go down here probably another couple of 100 metres, and we'll go over a bridge into what they call Otahanga Domain, which has got some of the nicest willow trees I've ever seen. I'll show you those when I get here. And then we start heading down into the Waikanae estuary area. So this bridge over the river into Otahanga Domain, that was built by the army as an exercise some years ago. So this is the Otahanga Domain, and it's actually looking a bit worse for wear. It used to be a bit nicer than this is. I remember those willow trees with the branches almost touching the ground, and yeah, a bit rough over here. It's like there's a detention basin or something gone in now, and I know this area does flood a lot, so maybe they had a bit of flood damage recently or something. Anyway, we're going to push on down. We go down the true left bank of the river now, down to the Waikanae estuary. So there we are, we're heading down the true left bank, and that's Kapiti Island. You'll get some good views of that as we go down the beach. But yeah, that river level's really high and flowing pretty quick. That's not normal, so there must be a lot of rain up in the Tauruas and that, which we just avoided. Maybe we're lucky. All right, we'll push on. See ya. These guys have all decided to have a bath at the same time. Now, this is a real case of nostalgia for me. This is where I was born and bred, and left here when I was 20-year-old and went up and lived in Mangaone. But man, many times fishing here for herring and that as a young kid. Really nice. And somewhere up there, that's Paekakariki. But yeah, somewhere in the background there's the Tauruas all in the cloud that I couldn't go through. Anyway, it is what it is. So, Kapiti Island, the amount of times I'd come along as a young kid training and I'd run along here, and I didn't really appreciate what I had. Just so beautiful. Fishing down here for herring. Sometimes at high tide you'll get the kahawai running in. And these two big yellow signs, or the big yellow triangles, that's a marine estuary, so the fishermen have got to line those up, and there's certain areas and zones they're not allowed to fish in, just allow the fish stock to replenish. And Kapiti Island, that's now predator free, so there was a period of time when that got farmed, but it didn't, and it's all regenerated now. Not even a rat, not a mouse, nothing. They're constantly on the lookout for it. If you go over there, it gives you real insight into what mainland New Zealand was like before any sort of occupation, if you like, even indigenous occupation. The birds over there, it's just amazing. The parrots and that'll come down and actually land on you. So that's really nice. So there's two places you can go. You can go down the northern end down here where I'm showing the camera, and you can do an overnight down there and have night tours and go and see kiwi and so forth. Or right at the highest point, they drop you off in a boat and you walk to the highest point. And down in Pauparam Beach, we were about to go have an ice cream. That's where you can organise that sort of trip over. They cap the number of people on the island every day. And you got to search your bags, make sure there's no rodents, got to clean your shoes. And as I say, they cap the number of people, so you have to book and do that to get over there. But highly recommend it. I've only done it twice, but just magic place. Anyway, looks like the tide's not fully out, but but it's out far enough that we can walk down the hard sand down this beach. I'll show you as we go. See ya. So it's 3 nautical miles from the mainland to Kapiti Island, and I don't know if they still do it, but they used to once a year have a island to the mainland swim. And I don't quote me on it, but I think the fault runs under the ocean there, and the island, Kapiti Island, is actually South Island rock, different rock to where we're walking on the beach just over here, and there's a big fault line running under the ocean there between the mainland and the island. Now this is the old Paekakariki skate park, and they're redoing the whole thing, so shout out to old school colleague Dean Hunt. I said I'd send him some images or a video of what it's like, and I was chatting to him recently. Man, they're doing a good job of it. An amazing effort. Well, it's pretty windy coming down the beach, but we just had a quick pit stop in Paekakariki, so now we're off to Paekakariki, and we're going to take my parents out to the famous fisherman table for dinner tonight because they've run around after us today. We just said farewell to John and Viv. They just jumped in the car with their friend. They're actually coming back to Paekakariki Beach tomorrow, and they're going to try and walk all the way from here to Parirua. Tim and I are sort of doing the longer day today, and we'll get dropped off in Paekakariki tomorrow and just do the typical Paikok to Parirua, and then Parirua to Wellington the day after. And I'll do a few more logistics, maybe tonight, could be a late night tonight, but I'll see if I can pull my logistics together about getting down that South Island and maybe knocking off Queen Charlotte before Christmas Day. But it's a long shot, we'll see what happens. Anyway, you look in the background, you can sort of see the escarpment, but I'll spin the camera around, I'll zoom in and show you where we'll be going in the escarpment walk tomorrow. So this sort of brings back memories of 90 Mile when we were trying to get into Ahipara Beach, and the escarpment is just down here. This is the escarpment walk along this hill, sort of hill or ridge line here, just before it dips down, and it ends just here, and be ducking behind this mountain range here. If we come back here, probably hard to see it on the camera, but just down in the bottom here, that's the township of Paekakariki, just there, just on the right side of Tim walking down the beach. Alright, we'll push on. I don't know if you'll be able to see it or even hear me in this wind, but here's the first look of the South Island. You can just see land there. So this waterfront bar, almost feel like going up there having a drink, but there's no time, we've got to push on. It's built over the top of an old public swimming pool actually. I used to swim there a lot in my youth. So back out on the beach here, but this is another area where you can actually freedom camp. Pretty bad weather today, or not bad weather, I mean it's beautiful and sunny, but just the wind, so hopefully you guys can hear what I'm saying when I'm out on the beach. But yeah, no, this is when you get a crystal clear day, it's just beautiful. Walking down here last Christmas with my wife, the ocean was just like glass with Kapiti Island in the background. It was just nothing like it, beautiful. I wonder where this owner sits to enjoy his beach views, and even a spa pool over there, that'd be pretty cool, especially on a cold night. Walking along this beach and just watching Paekakariki slowly coming into view just reminds me of Ahipara when I was finishing 90 Mile Beach. And yeah, I'm glad the tides were right and I could get down this beach today, because there'll be a few little beach walks in Queen Charlotte Sound maybe, but this is our last significant beach walk. In the South Island, we won't even see the ocean. We pretty much go right down the middle of the South Island until the very end when we come through the Longwood Forest, and we'll be able to compare how muddy that is compared to Radia, and then we come out onto the beach right down the southern end of the South Island. So we're going to go probably 1.5 to 2 months and not even see the ocean on the second half of this hike. So even though it's a bit windy, it's died off a bit now, but it's just nice to go down this beach, low tide, breathe in that nice salty sea air one last time. No, we won't get this for a long time. All right, we'll keep going. 1 or 2 stairs up to this place. Oh, this place is a bit different. It's nice sort of gaby and rock wall down the bottom, and if I zoom in here, there's an old dinghy or something, but it doesn't look like it gets used anymore. Yeah, it's a interesting little place up here. Bit of an overhang, and open the sliding doors with a bit of a handrail, but no actual deck. So we're just off the beach for a little bit, and yeah, a bit of a historical tramway sort of area or something down here. I'll wander along here and see what I can find out as we go. So we're heading into Queen Elizabeth Park, and yeah, I remember going for a tram ride as a kid here. I'm not sure the significance, if there was always trams here or if it's just a tram ride location. I'll try and find out, but every Saturday, Sunday you can still have tram rides here. And this is Queen Elizabeth Park, so it's quite a big park, and you can actually camp on the southern end of Queen Elizabeth Park. That's where a lot of the TA walkers will stay the night when they come through this section. I don't have to, obviously, because I've got my parents here. And there's a toilet there. I'm going to go and use the loo in a minute, but just over here you can just see the tram line, so they sort of come down to here and turn around and go back again. There's the tram lines just running along there. So the official TA trail brings us along this track, but not really sure why, because we could have just walked straight along the beach. Not coming across anything significant of interest really, but great if it's high tide, but yeah, anyway, still nice. I'll catch you later. So Queen Elizabeth Park, particularly down the southern end, Paekakariki, that's a really nice spot. If you're ever in the area, family, young kids, beautiful park, beautiful beach. You can shoot up the northern end if it's a Saturday, Sunday, take the kids for a tram ride, so well worth having a look at if you're ever in the area. So there we go, we're going to shoot up these steps just behind Tim there, and that's our last significant beach until the South Island now on the TA, Paekakariki Beach, Kapiti Island in the background. So there we go, we just had dinner at Fisherman's Table. This restaurant has been around longer than I've been alive. It's just on the southern end of Paekakariki, so if you're ever in the area, there's Tim out there doing his little Instagram thing. Look, he'll get the photo just right. He's classic. But yeah, if you're ever on the south side of Paekakariki, Fisherman's Table, highly recommend it.